The folkloric entity that haunts your modern skepticism is not merely a supernatural antagonist to be banished, but a profound manifestation of the ancestral grief you have been conditioned to dismiss as superstition. And true resolution requires not eradicating the Fae through ritual violence alone, but integrating the weight of displaced memory until exorcism becomes an act of radical reconciliation rather than performative purification. In The Exorcism of Faeries, J.L. Vampa transforms the urban fantasy horror trope into precise exploration of ecological sovereignty and embodied accountability, proving peace isn't found in silencing the other world. It's forged in honoring the presence beneath the haunting, when every rational framework demands you remain either believer or skeptic. From iron-cold and rotting pedal narration, listeners enter worlds where folklore is syntax and presence is the only unbreakable ward, perfect for fans of emotionally intelligent dark fantasy where female complexity defies exorcist or victim binaries. When occult investigator Ilara Vance is called to cleanse a property, expecting demonic infestation, she discovers the Fae's resentment mirrors the exact erasure she's endured beneath years of clinical detachment. And local historian Julian Thorne's quiet refusal to treat the entities as mere pests creates space for connection defying paranormal hierarchy. Navigating contested boundaries and buried attractions, Ilara realizes this exorcism isn't about expulsion, but recalibration, with Vampa avoiding reducing Ilara to righteous purifier or Julian to eccentric gatekeeper, instead crafting radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring limits, even as magic blurs them. And audiobook narration amplifies this alchemy by capturing Ilara's disciplined focus fracturing into clarity and Julian's guarded intensity revealing warmth beneath vigilance, making listeners feel seismic shifts of souls learning some spirits can only be honored when you stop letting dogma define their validity. What elevates this beyond typical urban fantasy fare is portraying spectral intimacy as somatic practice rather than sensationalized horror, with Ilara confronting how investigative culture equated worth with objectivity, while Julian creates sanctuary where her contradictions exist without diminishment. Their relationship evolving through shared silences during twilight negotiations, bypassing performance, rhythms protecting both spiritual integrity and psychological safety, and mutual defense against clients mistaking empathy for incompetence, supported by fellow practitioners encoding suppressed awe, elders carrying intergenerational weight, and the land itself absorbing centuries of unspoken bargains, reinforcing that in extraction-based systems, tenderness toward the unseen is technique, and presence is sustainable resource, with banishing rituals mirroring emotional attunement, and boundary settings becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is immersive descent into sacred reckoning, with narrators embodying Ilara and Julian with remarkable distinction, sound design anchoring existential stakes through distant wind chimes, rain against overgrown eaves, and hushed breaths sinking with moments of clarity, pacing mirroring revelatory cadence from deliberate reflection to surging awakenings, ultimately redefining Fae fiction by centering female epistemology with ecological frameworks, and affirming that sometimes the most powerful act is choosing to listen slowly, honoring whole self, even in landscapes shaped by displacement.